Hello and welcome into ASAE and the Center for Association Leadership. I'm Amy Ledoux, Vice President of Meetings and Expositions.
And I'm Ann McLeod, Director of Exhibits and Registration.
Ann and I thought we would share a little behind the scenes of what we did to gather information from both our exhibitors and our attendees to make sure that we kept Springtime a vibrant trade show and experience for both exhibitors and attendees. And so we wanted to share that with you and then also share with you some of the changes we made this year. So Ann, why don't you maybe explain kind of the process that we went through?
Okay, sure. Well, every year we send out surveys to exhibitors and attendees after the show. So we compile that information along with our research team to find out what attendees really liked and what they didn't like, how we can improve. And after that, we also had some focus groups of attendees and exhibitors to really dig a little bit deeper into that feedback. So after we got all of that feedback together, we also met with a staff team to come up with some recommendations of changes that we can make to keep Springtime the great show that it is.
And so some of the changes that you'll see at this year's show, and we hope that we can welcome you to this year's show, the first change we made was one of the things that exhibitors said to us was more networking. We want more time to network with attendees, and we also want a way that we can connect with young professionals. So therefore came Springtime Unplugged, and that is taking place on Wednesday night. So why don't you talk about the excitement of Wednesday night?
Yeah, it's going to be a great event. It's a networking event. It's taking place at the Historical Society of Washington, D.C. on their west lawn. It's right across the street from the Convention Center. It's going to be like a community tailgate party, so it's going to be great. It's from 5 to 7 on Wednesday the 15th. And immediately preceding that, we have a special education session for young professionals all about networking. So for the young professionals, we heard a lot from them that sometimes it can be intimidating coming to a show like Springtime where everyone seems to know one another. So this education session is really going to help them learn how to get their foot in the door and be great networkers.
Because it is all about networking and meeting people, and so this event is not just for young professionals, which we define as 30 and younger, even though and you definitely look younger than 30. So
you too, Amy.
I wouldn't qualify you as a mentor, but I myself would be a mentor. I'm over 30. But it's for those folks to also help introduce young professionals to various folks in the industry. So we encourage both young professionals and what we're calling mentors to attend and participate in this event. And then the next day, Thursday, we have a lot of exciting things, our first bank of education sessions, and we have what is called a Trailblazer session, which is going to be is a takeoff from one of our favorite things from annual meeting, which is our thought leader sessions, but this is called a Trailblazer session with the president and CEO of Stony Brook Farms. And then?
Yes, and then we have our general session and brunch. You might remember the general session and brunch back when Springtime was at the Marriott Wardman Park. We added back the brunch to our general session so exhibitors and attendees could really do some more one-on-one, face-to-face networking and also grab a bite to eat before they hit the trade show floor. We actually just got the menus today from the Convention Center and they look great.
They look great.
Yeah, so after the general session and brunch, we head right into the trade show, and we're opening the trade show this year from 11:30 to 4:30. A little bit earlier than normal, but the same 5 hours. So we can make sure that the people who need to get on the road for DC's famous rush hour traffic can do that without losing any of the valuable time that they need to do that business on the trade show floor.
Yep. And then right after, continuing with the networking theme, we have a reception from 4:30 to 5:30, and we encourage everybody to come. Again, another opportunity for folks to link and network and meet one another. and just be able to touch base before they head out. And so that again is going to be from 4:30 to 5:30 in what is called East registration. So if there's a cab line, which I'm sure we'll try to avoid, but if there is, stop in for a beverage. And it's being sponsored by some of our Canadian tourism partners, and so we're very excited. We're featuring Canadian beers and wines, so stop by. Also, we have, I think we forgot to mention about our child care service that we're also providing.
Oh, right. This year, because we know that springtime is the Thursday after Easter, lots of schools are on spring break, and in DC, the public schools are closed for Emancipation Day. So we're adding child care services on site. It's only $10 an hour. I think that's probably the cheapest child care you're ever going to find in the DC area. Just to eliminate any barrier that people might have from coming to the show. So they've got to sign up for that in advance, so hopefully people will take advantage of that. So it's a great way to be able to still come to the show if your kids are off of school and you don't have to scramble to find someone to watch them.
So we've thought of a lot of things, and we'd love to see you at Springtime so you can see all the things that we're implementing in action. So hope to see you on April 15th for Springtime Unplugged, and we hope to see you also on the 16th for Springtime Expo and all the great education and the trade show and all the networking. So
yeah, we'll see you there. I'm Ann McLeod.
And I'm Amy Ledoux.
Thanks for coming to Springtime.